guys, we are here with Brew. I wanted to take a quick video for Brew for his potential new owners or his foster parents or whoever maybe have Brew in their care, just to give you a little bit of insight on what I have learned with him over the last few weeks he's been with me. So Brew is working on leash pulling. He was in the shelter for, gosh, I think it was almost 2 years, they said. So he definitely didn't get a lot of in-home, time with a certain person to work on behaviors like this. So for the past month, he's been working with me. Now, as you can see, he already, I personally always use slip leads. But as you can see, when it slips down low, see how it's below his collar right now? He is much more likely to pull when you have it positioned like this. So you want to make sure you have it positioned correctly, which is going to be up high, framing his skull, and not around his neck, where you're actually just pulling on his trachea. So you want it up high right there, and then you can put your safety down to right about there, and you can see he completely understands pressure and release. Now, being on grass and being outside is definitely harder. Brew. Good boy. Brew. Good boy. Okay. So, following through with that, making sure that his leash is positioned properly. I would highly suggest working on a wait command when he is at the front door to make sure that you're working on door bolting. I would also make sure that even when you have him in free mode, like I do right now, just to use the potty, that you do what I call the lawnmower, which is you give a pull back and you release that tension right away, so that he learns that we never move forward when there's pressure on the slip lead, that we only move forward when there is a loose leash. That way, when you're practicing heeling, and you can see if you pull backwards like this and he's pulling forward, see how much the leash has already sank down right to there. And now you're just pulling on his trachea. You're not putting any pressure on the pressure points, which is the whole idea behind pressure and release. So trying to keep yourself with a loose slip lead, but giving pops to get him to remember that we don't move forward. Yes, there's a good boy. That we don't move forward when you are pulling me. So I'm going to stop moving when you pull me, and I'm going to make you calm down. So that's a big thing that I would practice with him and make sure you keep working on with him. Another big thing is, while he is good in his crate, I would make sure that you are using your crate when you are not paying attention to him. Because he has not been in a house before, he is still learning what is appropriate toys and what are not appropriate toys. He was very interested in my Christmas decorations when I was putting them up. He kept going into my tub of Christmas stuff and taking items out of it. He actually pulled down my son's elf on the shelf the other day. Luckily, I caught him before too much damage was done. But because he is big on eating items that aren't his and he's still learning that, you really want to make sure that you're setting him up for success by giving him an appropriate area to play where he's not going to have a lot of options of things to kind of grab off the shelf. I don't keep like throw pillows on my couch, especially since my living room is 100% used for daycare and the dogs and everything. I rarely even sit on my couch. It's really more for the dogs at this point. But make sure that you're watching him when you are at home, that you are using your crate. He is fine in his crate. I haven't had any issues with him breaking out. He's done great with that. He loves to have a nice bone to chew on. I like using Nyla bones and stuff. I would not recommend, although he loves plush toys, I primarily keep those for outside only, because when a dog has a plush or a squeaky toy, we're actually promoting destruction and digging with dogs by showing them that it's okay to destroy this item, and then we just pick it up and throw it away because no big deal. But they hear the squeaker and they dig and dig until they get to it, and then success, they got what they wanted, and then we just throw it away, no big deal. But then he goes and he eats the couch cushions and he gets in trouble for that. And that's a very similar texture and feel for him to understand that what's appropriate and what's not, especially since he has, been in a shelter most of his life or on the streets most of his life. He doesn't understand what is appropriate play material. So I really like to stick to hard toys and rubber toys like Nylabones and Tough Toys, things that like Kongs, things like that, where I can put treats inside of them and they can, see, we're going to do some lawnmowers there, but always nice and loose. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend plush toys and squeaky toys. So like I keep my plush toys for outside because my dog does love them and he doesn't destroy things. So, but we keep them so you can see immediately. He's like, he loves them. He has a lot of fun with them, but he'll immediately start, tearing that apart really quickly. So you're going to go through plush toys and squeaky toys and those thin rubber toys really quick with him. He is a power chewer. So make sure you're watching what he is eating. He loves, like I said, he loves a good bone. So put a bone in his crate with him. He likes non-raw hide bones. He hasn't had any kind of tummy issues when it's giving him a new food and giving him different treats and all that good stuff, different bones. He hasn't had any issues with that, so that's great. He does have very thin skin, I've noticed. So you can see he's got some like perfect dog scratches, and then on his, come here, Brew Bear. So you can see he's got some scarring on his face right there, and it's only on his cheeks, and that's because he plays really rough with one of the dogs that comes to daycare with me, and she's a puppy, so she's got those really sharp puppy teeth, and they just gnaw at each other's faces, and I have videos of that as well if anybody's kind of interested in where those have come from. But I was wondering myself, I didn't understand where they were coming from. They popped up out of nowhere about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And once I saw him playing, and then I saw the scratch, the perfect dog scratch that was scabbing as well, I realized he's just got very thin skin. So he scabs up really easily. He gets, little boo-boos. It's not bothering him whatsoever. It's not rashing or anything like that. I've been putting some A&D and Aquaphora lotion on it to kind of help with the dry skin and the scarring. But besides that, he is a great player. He loves puppies. He loves, he has not had any issues with any dogs. The one dog that I introduced him to that I know isn't particularly good with other dogs, and we did that on purpose to see how he would do with a bossy dog. So when we introduced her, of course, Margot wasn't super happy to meet him when he jumped up on the couch next to her. But he was so good about it. He did not go back after her when she gave a very stern correction, a little too stern, but he did not go back at her. He didn't try and start anything. He just backed up and looked at me like, what the heck was that about? So he is very good. My dog as well, he's an Aussie Doodle, and he's a 2-year-old male, so he is full of energy all the time. They get along great. They love to play and run around together, but just like boys will be boys, they get into like arguments, but they stop so fast. If I just go, hey, no, cut it out, and I just raise my voice, they stop immediately. So I don't even have to go over there and break them up or anything. So he's really good with other dogs. He takes corrections very well. He is okay with my cats. I have 2 outdoor cats. Now he does have prey drive. So if one of my cats, Sonic, who is appropriately named because he runs from everything, if Sonic runs, he will, get excited and go to try and pull towards him, but he doesn't do anything. And my other cat, Fred, is extremely dog social. He'll come up to the dogs and go between their legs and play with them and everything. And he is great with Fred. Fred doesn't run, so if there's no prey drive to run, come here, Brew Brew. Something smells good over there, huh? If there's no prey drive, he's not going to just chase your cats if they're just laying on the couch or anything. He's, Brew Brew, come here, baby. Good boy. So you can see it's already starting to sink, and when we start going back inside, he gets all excited because he knows it's playtime. He's a good boy. Yeah. So yeah, he's a really sweet man. He's fine with my son. I have a 10-year-old. He's met my son's friends as well. He was fine with them. All in all, he is a really good dog. He is just learning the ins and outs of living in a house, which he's never done before. So it's all kind of new to him. So, just have patience and be his guider for him, give him some guidance along the way, set him up for success in the future by showing him things you want him to do and not just correcting things that he's doing wrong. So try and think about how can I show him exactly the behavior that I'm looking for out of him. And that's just going to come with time, patience, and consistency. So the calmer you are and the more practice you do with him, the better he's going to get, the more of a stronger working relationship you guys are going to have with each other, and the easier things are going to be. He's going to respect you, and you're going to cherish him because he really is just a sweet man. So you can see, again, some of these, all just from playing. You can see they're all spots where like other dogs would chew on his ears, his flubby cheeks. But everywhere else on him looks good, so I'm almost 100% that that's what that is all from. But again, it's all scabbed and everything, so it's just, you know, old wounds. But when she plays with him, she tends to reopen them. So that's what that is what it all that is. Nothing to be concerned or alarmed about. He loves playing. He plays all day, every day with the other dogs, and that's just what happens. So if you guys have any questions about Brew or need assistance with anything, with any behaviors that you're seeing from him, please just give me a shout out. Let me know. I'd be happy to help you and guide you through, you know, the good training parts for him. Since I've gotten a good feel for his personality and everything, I can give you some good tips and pointers along the way. You see Fred? So you can see, right, I don't have pressure, but he sees my cat. So you can see that's prey drive, where he's staring at the cat. If the cat were to jump and move and run away right now, he would most likely want to chase it. But he's not going to do anything like, where are you going? That's not a real dog, silly. If we went over there right now, he wouldn't do anything to Fred. He would be totally fine with him. So yeah, anyway, that is the ins and outs of Brew. Like I said, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd be happy to help you guys. I hope everything works out and Brew finds his forever home, because he really deserves it. He's a good boy, and you know, he definitely deserves a shot at life. So hope everyone has a good one. Say bye, Brew. You're my buddy.